And good afternoon. This is the Elliott Wave Daily Update for the NASDAQ 100, being recorded on Tuesday, November the 11th at 2:05 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. First, again, and if you didn't see it in the comment sections earlier, I apologize for mislabeling the beginning of this minuet fifth wave up by putting a 1 instead of an A. And thank you to those members who basically reminded me that it's like, hey, I thought it was an ABC to fit for the triangle pattern. You are absolutely correct. I appreciate the nod and the quick reminder, and I made that correction there. So again, changing that, putting in the A. Now, originally I'd put it there. Now I have to think that, we have a chance that it's not done yet. And again, what we're really working against is just this powerful market, but selective. So here in the Nasdaq yesterday, we got a large part of our rally was due to Nvidia. Nvidia just powering higher, and then we kind of got the same thing today for these first two. But what countered it after its initial launch was, again, Nvidia versus Apple. And if we're just looking at the weighting within the Nasdaq, Nvidia is going to sit up top still, and Apple probably was number 2 or 3. So they're going to be in conflict with one another in terms of one moving up strongly, the other one moving down strongly, and pretty much Nvidia was down 589, Apple was up 582. So Nvidia is going to win in that weight war, which kept the market from really just kind of sailing as it did in the Dow, which had other factors in there, but also with the S&P finishing up, was up over 20 now. It's kind of figuring out that it wants to be up like less than as they come through and just kind of settle everything to finish today. So nonetheless, I do believe that the market still, I mean, I probably could put, the only reason is like I have to count at least 3 up to here because we're counting 5 waves up. It'll form wave A, and it'll produce what we're going to look for the entire thing is a zigzag. But then all of them have been zigzags, to be honest with you. So wave 4 basically was a zigzag. Wave 5 will be a zigzag. Wave 3 was a zigzag. Wave 1, wave 2, all zigzags. So again, we'll expect the same thing here. So I think what I could have is wave 3 of A coming in there, and this is wave 4, and now we're in that 5th wave up. So prior, I thought, well, that could be 1 and this would be 2, but we needed some additional. We needed additional. Now I've got that up there to there. So to say, if we just start coming down from here, then we'd be looking for one of these levels down in here again for the B wave, and the A would come down to here. If it's, and that's why you've got all of these yellows up here all over the place. So that would be coming all the way up if this is the high, and we're looking for that B wave. So it would be A, and then we got the B, and we're still looking for the C wave down. And on that basis, we probably would be getting 25,365, 25,238, 240, and then down here on the bottom, 25,112 or 25,100. What it can't do is it cannot go below that level, 24,697. Now, again, let me just finish here, and then I'm going to address the other thing that several people were asking me, which is I normally include an alternate count, an alternate view, an alternate thought to the current structure. And I do have one. So let me just finish up this thought here of where we are. So again, I'm marking it as if that's going to be the A wave. And this is A, B, C coming down in the B wave. And those are our markers coming down. Now, on the same token, if by chance, leaving this aside for the moment, in fact, I can almost, well, I'll leave it up there for right now. Actually, no, I will move it, and I could always put it back up. That what we have here is if this is 1 and then a 2 and then a 3, and this is a 4, and we're now coming up into the fifth wave, well, then we have 1 over to 4, and then we have 25,797, and where 5 would be equal to wave 1 at 25,994, 995, even up to 25,000 or just 26,000 even. So any of that up there would complete, then again, that A wave, and then we'd start the B wave. So none of that, like right here, it would be clean. We'd start that B wave, and then I would run those same fibs, the retracements, from there to wherever this ended up. And then we're going to get our levels coming down. And again, it will be an ABC structure coming down. And that'll be the B wave. And then we have one last leg. It's kind of really weird that we're getting close. And it's kind of weird because we need to get additional moves in here. And if we're going to be rotating from one index to the next, depending on the stock that's going to be moving and the weight of that stock in that index, it's going to be, it could be just we could get up to way higher levels just as we're building, because that could be it. For all I know, that could be it. 3, 4, we're coming up in a 5. We come back down in an ABC, and we go back up again and build in another 5. So the B wave may be pretty normal and shallow, and then we're just going to be working these 2 gigantic fifth waves, 2 gigantic 5-wave structures. I meant we still have. That's our first cluster, and that's minute wave 5. So minute wave 5 would equal minute wave 1 at 27,065. Minuet wave 5 would be 2.618 times the length of minuet wave 1, and that comes in at 27,263. We have additional, and it's up here again, still dealing with that, with the minuet and the minute. So I'm not really going above those because these are the 2 that need to finish, and then in succession, it'll finish all the way up to that primary 3. So in here, this is our first cluster. This is the second. And this matches more towards the end of what I think we could get to. So if we're just going to power up in this fifth wave, and it's going to be an ABC, but it's going to be the A and the C are going to be powerhouse, structures, then I can see that we might get to 28,870. We still have next Wednesday, folks. We still have NVIDIA's earnings. Last on the board, right? Pretty much, we have some that come after, but none of them the size of NVIDIA. So that one's still out there. A whole bunch of stuff now coming in as well, between NVIDIA basically getting a downgrade overnight. Somebody says, well, now that looks like it's pretty cooked and it should be done. And they start looking for some downside. In fact, they sold. There was one fund manager, hedge fund, whatever, that actually did sell a fair amount of NVIDIA overnight and yesterday. So again, like I said, overnight, we went from 201 all the way to where we came in this morning, like 193. So somebody up. But it all has to do, I believe, with year end. Not so much with the earnings, not so much with anything, but they were just like, okay, we've made some really serious, nice money. We're booking it, or we're dumping part of the position, or we're dumping most of the position. Who knows? Basically, none of our business. But that is what kind of caught NVIDIA today versus the turning over. Now Apple makes its runner. Apple can go up to 282, which is the existing high. That was the high that Apple hit after their earnings. So is it natural then to say that it goes, natural, subjective word, that it'll go up there and retest that and maybe even break it? Is there potential that Apple may just get to 290, may even get up towards that 300 level? It is. Then we're going to go look at the options, and we're going to just talk about it on a gamma level. Can it get there? Yeah, it probably can. So again, as we get closer to year end, as all of these things really start to progress, I think we can even get into stronger moves as we progress towards December. All right. So back in here, these remain very active and very much alive. Okay. So, but let's kind of get through where we are right now. This all remains the same. And so what I've got worked out is, again, what I showed you, and I took it off, I put them back on, that if we're up A, and this is A of B, B of B, and we're going to come down in a C wave, we could possibly even go, don't really want to go up too much more than that. And coming down in a C wave, well, we have these markers. We have 25, 365, 25, 238, 240, and 25, 112. And I think those would be perfect for a B wave. And B wave, well, 50 to 62% works for me. And so that's if this whole thing. So this comes up, comes down, and comes down. And I think here to here fits perfectly. Now, if that isn't the case, and we're still going to go up to finish the A wave, let me take that off again. Then we've got 1, 2 here, and then 3 and a 4, and we're coming up in a 5. And basically 1, 2, and we're going to kind of go. So maybe it's going to be somebody else tomorrow within the NASDAQ sphere that will push this thing to the moon and get us up towards 25,979 to 25,994, and then finish wave A. And then we do get a B wave going in there. So either way, I am going to be looking for a steeper correction, one that may put itself in a day or a day and a half or 2 or 3, just depends. Again, this could be the start of it. We don't know. So we got both sides covered, an A, B, and a C, and I gave you those levels. Or it's a 4, 3, 4. We're coming up in 5 of A, and we're going to put that in up here. All right, now, alternate counts. It's really kind of difficult right now because we're at the end. We're at the end of a very long-term bull market. There is October of 2022. This is what we're finishing. This, and then in conjunction, we can go out to the next level up. This is just an intermediate degree level. We can go out to the primary degree level, which takes us back to 2002. So we got that's what those are the rallies that we're finishing, those sequences that we're finishing, getting up here. But this is the tighter one. So we have from October of 2022, and we have intermediate wave 4. So this is all intermediate wave 5. And we have minor 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're in minor wave 5. And that all still remains pretty clean and pretty well situated so that I can get an idea. Now, where do we go from here? Well, we're going to go up to finish it and then a primary third. So what would an alternate have to be from here? From here, it truly would have to kind of come in, and that would have to show up. So in other words, something happens, something comes up, something changes the whole atmosphere, something sours the market and turns it negative almost instantaneously from whenever it hits the tape. So that's what I think it would take to click in an alternate count. That's number one. Going to show us that this point completed all the way up to that primary wave 3. So this would be minuet wave 5, minute wave 5, minor wave 5, intermediate wave 5, primary wave 3. And that would have to come in here. And it can, to be honest with you, it's not going to be a diagonal. It's going to be 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we have 3, 4, 5, a 3, and then 4 and a 5. Short little 5. But if I had to have an alternate, that's it. And we're done. And this is working itself lower. Now, again, ABC, how do I turn this into 1, 2? That's one way. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Has to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And that's scary. So, yes, there's an alternate. Yes, it's very bearish. At this level, it's very bearish. right? Because the only way I'm going to get out of this is to say 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And it really can't go up too much higher because it's 1, 2. And then that's the start of this next one. And it would be 1. So it can't, wave 2 can't come up above it. Oh, that would be, if it's going to happen, it's got that much life before it would be invalidated. Then I'd have to, have to rethink the whole thing. But again, it has to be based on that being the high of everything. And a different alternate that would continue this fourth wave, no, that would have to be done. So you can see the difficulty of actually coming up with something outside of the pattern would have to be showing the pattern is complete at this level. Now, could we get up? Now, even if I went to like on here, we're in the minuet 5. Let me just show you, because that's what I took off today. Minuet wave 1, a minuet 5 would have been equal to minuet wave 1. That came and went at 26,000, 25,000. Yeah, 25,690. So, there we have that came up and equal to today. So even if I did there and took it right to there and said that would be a failure, where I could put the 5 here, and then from here it's a failure because we were expecting 5 to get above that level. So it would be a large failure, actually, a very large failure. So, I mean, this is 26,399. This is 25,690. We're talking a 26,3. This is 25,6. So 26,7 and to 3 would be 600, 700 point failure within a fifth wave, within a major long-term rally. Not real high probability of having that happen, but that's another thought. It's another alternate. And could it get up here possibly and then die? Yeah, it could. But again, that's finishing the pattern. So the only one that I can really put out there that would be very negative would be that everything's done to there all the way up to primary 3. And we're starting that primary fourth wave down with an intermediate degree A wave. So that is that. This is what we're working on. We're still possibility that the A wave is not done yet. So those are our finishing levels up into here. And then we do get a B wave, or the A wave did finish there. And that's A of B, B of B, and we get a C of B, which can bring us almost back down towards the 25,000 level. And then we go again. And what we can compare it to, you can look at this pattern is repeating itself in the fifth wave. A little bit stronger, but repeating itself. You can see we jammed higher, came back down, and then jammed higher. We're jamming higher. We come back down, and you see how they did it here? Ding, ding, ding. We could do the same thing type of thing here as well. Put a little bit of a regular B, and then come flying back down, and then rally, rally, like we did there. So that's also a possibility going on right here. Okay, that's really going to be it. Gamma levels will be updated tomorrow morning. We did futz around a little bit between the Qs and some of the other markets, and particularly the NASDAQ, of breaking below volatility levels, retaking volatility levels. It was interesting. And as far as numbers, we have nothing tomorrow. We got nothing. We have 6 Fed officials out talking, and that's going to be it for tomorrow. And so outside of that, no economic data. And if they get the government opened officially and we can get that data, then we're going to get some stuff on Thursday, initial jobless claims, and also CPI. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. All right, next update will be tomorrow morning.